sometimes you just need a reset in life. This is what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, is just pulling back, reevaluating, repositioning, really just taking time to thoroughly go through different areas in my life that I spend my time in, cutting fat, cutting things that aren't producing, really just reflecting. This process could take a week, it could take a few days, it could take a month, depending on how much, resetting that you feel that you need to do to reposition yourself to really move forward. So it's always a good idea to pull back sometimes so you can then propel yourself forward. There's certain seasons in life that I call them burst seasons. Like, you have all the energy, stamina, things are in order, life is simplified, and you just push yourself for a short period of time. Those burst seasons aren't meant to be like long term, because you can really get burnout. My maximum burst season is like 6 months, where I tell myself, okay, for this next 6 months, I am just going to push and really just crush it and show up. Obviously taking some self-care days and some days to unwind and relax in between there. You're not neglecting every other area of your life, of course, to do that, but your focus is on really accelerating during that burst season. And then there's seasons where you pull back a little bit and you enter into more of a gentle rhythm. This is the season that I kind of enter into mid-year, because I like to go really hard for the first half of the year. So I'm kind of in that. I'm preparing myself to really take off and to really push and to really go hard. So January is a lot of pulling back a lot. It's like a pruning season. It's a season where you're really just kind of going into a barren state. And then February and March is really where you're developing that growth and stamina and that vitality to push yourself forward. So that way, during spring and summer, you're like all in. You're feeling good, you're looking good, you're eating good, things in your life are in order, and it's just a really great time to level up in all of the areas of your life. So in order to do this properly and really maximize the benefits, you have to let go of some things, even some things that you really enjoy doing, and put those aside. You don't have to get rid of them completely, but sometimes it's good to just put those aside. Maybe they're not part of the season that you're in right now. So if you're spending a lot of time rearranging your home, get it done. Like right now, I'm doing some painting, I'm doing some refreshing, but I'm not going to be doing that all season long, all the next 3 or 6 months. It's just something that you take, like, all right, I'm going to take 2 weeks. Maybe you're waiting for a piece of furniture or something to come in, so it takes a little longer, but you know what I'm saying. You take a little bit of time and you say, okay, during this 2 weeks, I'm gonna really just focus on refreshing the home, getting in order, purging, decluttering. If I'm homeschooling, so I had to get all of that stuff in order. And then you just get that set before you move into the next. It's also a really great time to take inventory of your pantry and your fridge. What have you been consuming during the winter? Are you eating a lot of fat, kind of winter heavy foods? And now it's time to go into a season where you're going to eat more fresh things, more raw things. You're going to maybe swap some supplements out, go through your expired products. Do you have a bunch of expired toxic, bath products in your bathroom, and old medicines in your medicine cabinet? Is your medicine cabinet all gunky and full of like gross stuff? So this is a time to just simplify, purge the closets, get rid of the old, allow yourself some space to breathe, really reset. Take the time needed to reset. It's like a deep breath for a few weeks. You're resetting, you're repositioning yourself, and then you move forward. And remember, just keep it simple. Simple is always better. Make yourself, get into the habit of simple things, simple moves. Like for food, I keep it super simple and super basic 60 to 80% of the time. No fuss. I use food for fuel. That allows me sometimes for, a nice bowl of Alden's organic ice cream. I mean, you have to have a little bit of fun. I'm not strict all the time, but when you keep it simple, for the most part, like I don't really like slow cookers and air fryers and all these giant appliances that do all of this stuff. Just super simple, raw, fresh, whole foods, organic. Getting in your protein is key. making sure you're taking good whole food supplements, protein, juices, things, cleanses, keeping your body in order. Your body will tell you when something's wrong. You'll feel it. Like, that's a really good indicator. Just be in tune to how you feel, how you're sleeping, how you're functioning, and be willing to make some changes, because you could literally transform your whole body and life in like 3 to 6 months. And if weight training will change the look of your body. If you're just doing cardio, it'll just take the same kind of frame you have and make it skinnier. It's basically what it does. But the big key thing is to build muscle, because muscle is going to burn the fat. You're going to age better. This is why I eat a lot of protein, because I don't want to lose the muscle. As you age, you want to keep that. And then I'm working in some things to help with collagen, because when you start working out, you're going to lose a little bit of collagen here. That's why my face has gotten thinner. No, I'm not on Ozempic or anything like that. I just lost a little bit of fat. So you thin up in some areas. So you want to start nourishing then. What are some things, maybe adding in some healthy fats to rebuild a little bit. But it's all about the habits. It's about the habits that you do most of the time, because the habits are what's dictating your results. The habits is what's determining what you're getting in life. So if you're not satisfied with a situation or something, take a look at your habits. If you're not satisfied with the results that you're getting, take a look at the habits and be willing to let go of the habits that aren't serving you. Like, take some time to say, okay, my life needs a reset. My family needs a reset. For some of us, that means completely moving and shifting your whole life around. For some of you, that means small changes around the home or small changes in life or whatever. But a reset it's so healthy. It's a beautiful rhythm when you can pause and stop and say, I need to just pull back. I need to make some changes. I need to come up higher. And to come up higher, I have to be willing to let some of these lower things go. You'll also probably experience some turbulence when you start coming up higher and making changes, because when you're on a lower level, it's not as turbulent. It's comfortable. It's this relaxed kind of state. When you start making changes and coming up higher and pushing yourself, it gets very bumpy. It gets very uncomfortable. It can even cause strife in the home a little bit, because you're changing things. People aren't used to that. Your spouse isn't used to it. Your family's not used to it. They're used to you staying the way that you are. They're used to you being that way. And as soon as you say, no, I want to change, I want to do better, I want something different, I want to experience something different that I've never experienced, you're not going to know how to do it. So it's going to be a little bumpy as you go. And that's totally normal. You have to expect that, and you have to be prepared for that. Doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're going to higher levels. My mantra for the year is to simplify and elevate. Simplify areas of my life and come up higher. And it takes time and it takes effort. It takes being really intentional, not perfect all the time at it. You're not going to be perfect all the time at it. When you change your diet, you're still going to fall back. I do all the time. I'm not a perfect eater. I'm not a perfect exerciser. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect mom. And I'm definitely not a perfect designer or decorator. But the key is you're always fine-tuning. You're always saying, okay, well, maybe I screwed up. That's okay. I'm going to try again. So you just keep moving. You don't get stuck in what you did wrong or what you did that didn't satisfy you. You say, that decision that I made really didn't give me the results that I wanted. I'm not going to do that again. Or I'm going to try next time to maybe avoid that or something. And then you just do better. And that's it. You just keep moving from it. Your life is meant to be lived, not the same year over and over. It's meant to be experienced and explored, and to come up higher and to develop and to grow. That is God's desire for you. That's his plan for you. He has a race for you to run. He has a race for each of us to run. And in order to do that, we have to have the health, the stamina, the ability to do that. If you are, sick and overweight and living in all of these problems, some of them you may not be able to change, but focus on the ones that you can change. Maybe you can't run, but you can walk. Maybe you can cut out one sugary coffee or one sugary sweet a day and replace it with protein. Maybe you can turn off the TV or cancel your Netflix. Things I had to do was cancel things. Like I was so hooked on some shows that I had to just get rid of Netflix altogether. I loved shopping, so I just had to cut up my credit cards and close them. Like I had to burn the ship, so I did not have a way to go back into those habits. Remember, the battle is between your old self and the new self that you're trying to be or that you're wanting to be. There's going to be friction between those two because the old self is the person who is comfortable. That's the person who wants to stay. That's the person who has developed those habits. That's the person who continues to do the same things and continues to get the same results. The new self is the one who's saying, no, I want better. I want to change. I want to experience something new. I want to come up as my highest self. I'm willing to do what it takes. There is a battle between the two of you because the old self says, yeah, let's just go shopping and waste the day. The new self says, no, why don't you save your money for something that you really want or put it aside for the right time. The old self might say, yeah, let's just go hang out, go out to eat. I'm not saying you never do any of that stuff. Of course, you're going to have some leisurely time and have fun. I'm talking about the chronic habits that people have developed. The thrill of the chase, this time spent thrifting, the how much money spent eating out, and then all of the fats that you're eating, the constant running through Starbucks. If you want to change, you have to change. If you want your life to change, you have to change. You have to be willing to make different decisions. You have to be willing to let that new self develop. And it takes time to develop into that person. And if you don't know where to start by what you hate. That's where I started. What was I disgusted with? What were the results I was getting that I didn't like? What were the areas of my life that I knew, man, I'm so much better than this. Why am I settling for this? I started with not tolerating things because you will always continue to tolerate what you don't hate. So you have to get to the point of disgust to where you don't tolerate those things anymore. You say, enough is enough. I'm not going through this. I'm not tolerating this. I'm not living this way. You literally have to get to the point of a disgust. I hate about something. And then you use that hate and disgust to move you in a creative way. It pushes you in a creative state, and it allows you to come up higher because you can take that and use it and say, oh, I'm not going to allow this anymore. So now I'm going to do the opposite so I can get opposite results. And whatever you do, don't give up. Just keep moving. Once you build momentum can also go against you. So you could build momentum in the opposite direction. And if you do that, you got to halt it and start. It's like you're turning a big ship around. So during that turn, it takes time because the ship's going in one direction. You built all of this momentum going in that direction. Now you're saying, no, I need to turn it. So you're in this state of turning. So once you get going in the direction that you want to go in, don't stop. Even if it's a little at a time, you're building momentum as you keep going. And you're going to use that momentum to your advantage because it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier. But in the beginning, it's a little tough. But just keep going. Don't give up.